Yo, what's up, people? Jason Gooner, we're there. First live of all times. Hopefully, the people them can find it. So, we're just going to break down the game a little bit more in depth. Let's see. Big up yourself, Martin. Yeah, man, as you come in, remember, like, share, subscribe. Let's see. I believe people can be added to the stream. Yeah, man, respect JD. Send them come. We're gonna just break down the game. Big up Kevin. Everybody, we don't know if for the first time you're there, just subscribe same time. Like, share. Let me see. If I share this around. Let's see. Yeah, man. So what I think, people? Give me the thoughts. First immediate reaction. Big up Drew Ross. You don't know, I have to start give out range from early, Don't know Drew Ross are the range police, so I might forget him range. The YouTube name, some of the YouTube name Jason Gooner. What kind of more name I need? Jason Gooner TV is the name of the channel. Yeah, Martin, the second half was poor. I agree. J. Ross, big up yourself, boss. Lee Young, big up. Yeah, man, JD, just send them, man. Respect JD every time, JD, I make sure my place full up, Yeah, man, and subscribe and like. I'm going to be doing these, as I get more verse, going to be doing these more frequently. It's time, People them don't hear my voice enough time now. Can see my face. Respect Lee Young for the subscription. So hold on, how this go now? I'm gonna give wrench. How do them thing there? I forgot teach me them something. Yeah, but all right. So for me, the game, it was a tale of two halves. I mean, in the first half, we were pretty much on top of them. They couldn't do much. I would have liked to have gotten some more goal scoring chances with the dominance, but I was still happy. I felt really good at halftime. Just wanted some more goals, wanted them to just continue playing the same way. And then all of a sudden, I don't really know what the disconnect was, what happened, but as soon as Bermuda started to gain a foothold in the game, we just couldn't really stem the tide. And, once they got the first goal, the writing was on the wall for a second one to come. And when the second one came, the good thing was at that point, I thought Jamaica kind of stemmed the tide a bit, was able to kind of push them back again and start attacking again. But at 2-2, there were chances both ways. So we could have gone down 3-2 with 10 more minutes. And then we're like, well, if they score one more and make it 4-2, we're out of the competition. So, it's tough, man. It's tough. I wish we could have had a better performance, but at the end of the day, the objective was to make the second round, and we did make the second round. So 3 games, 9 points. What's that? 6 goals scored, 2 against. So not too bad. But yeah, man, Charles, it was a tale of two halves. Second half was poor. I think what this game kind of showed today too, when you go into these competitions, you have to be careful how you build the team. The team, it was clear with the second half substitutions, Bicknell was tired about 60 minutes into the game. And due to Reed's injury and Welsh on suspension, there was no midfielder to bring on for Bicknell. So, we have to, sometimes when we scrutinize these squads, a lot of people get upset and say, boy, we're not the coach and this and that. But we really scrutinize it from a point of view that it could have been more, not necessarily that there are better players that could have been there, but maybe the makeup of the team isn't right to go through a competition. So, of course, the coach wouldn't have known that 2 of his midfielders would have been out. But these are the things you have to think about, right? So, luckily we had Barrett in the team who was playing out of position at left back. He could play midfield. I thought he had a very good game today. Yeah, Travis, look, it's hard to argue that Bicknell isn't good enough for this competition. He didn't really show himself very well in any other games. Looked to be off the pace most of the time. Didn't use the ball well when he received the ball. So yeah, it didn't really leave much to write home about as far as that is concerned. So yeah, I have to agree with you there, Travis. Him never looked so great. But what would I like for know, people? I'm gonna go through the team today. We're gonna do a player ratings and thing. So when we call the player, then I'm gonna give them a little rundown analysis, and then everybody can give me the scores. So we're gonna start in goal. Tawayne Lynch. Okay, drop the link. All right. Let me see if we can figure that out now. Because you're right, you know. You need to forward over here and all right, so boom. Invite a guest. Okay. No, not that more I do. So where's the invite guest thing? Okay, see it here. Big invite. No blind. All right, man. Copy the link, people. So anybody want to forward on? Forward on. So there, the link is pinned, people. So I'm gonna see who join, and then we'll start the player ratings. But while I do that, make sure I tap up the like button. Let me see here. Yeah, people, you don't know, you know. First live, so we're gonna work out the kinks, so I'll get through it, but you don't know. Man, a star, so we can go through anything. So yeah, so I've dropped the link, people. Let me know if it can be clicked. It should be able to. Yeah, man, 100 likes for the first live, you know. That's all we ask, you know. Yeah, man, I remember all of them names from today, you know. I say a lot of names, so we know. Big up yourself, United. Know yourself, big up. Chris Smith, up every time, bro. Travis. Cyan Bowen, big up. Yo, one thing, you know, Cyan Bowen from the start come on YouTube, you're one of the people, them every time you're in a chat, you big me up. So big up yourself, Cyan Bowen. No fun to do that still, but Cyan Bowen, the man no miss every day. Big up Jason Gooner every day. Yes, Martin, we're gonna need the reinforcements, you know, because trust me, we're definitely gonna need the reinforcements. No, Tennessee, me never there hide, you know. You know, me's a man no like rush things, you know. So you see, like all now, but I like to be more versed with what I do, but like all the people them did there out, and I know JD tired, me just say me run out. Yeah, man, no worry, Travis. Before long, people with have wrench, I gotta have them wrench. I'm gonna go to my actual page and see if we can figure that out. Let me see if we just click on a person. JD, how it go? How many give people wrench? Let me know. Yeah, man, respect United, man. You know, I always I'll keep it real, you know. From time to time, people might not agree and want to war me, but I say go. Opinions are to be shared and to be aired. And don't be scared, you know? So say go. JD Prediction King. Oh my lord. This man says the prediction king, you know, so let's see if I can actually let him onto the damn screen. But asking if I should save his name. I shouldn't save it, you know. I should change it. It's all right. I will let him live. I will let him live, you know. What is going on here? JD, as soon as I figure out how to bring you on, I will. Add to stage. It's quite simple. Just click. All right. There he is. Yes, JD, big up yourself. Welcome. Welcome. I think everybody on the stream knows this person here in the screen with me. This is JD, and I will give him his title, the Prediction King. It's the only day he will hear me say it, today. So after today, we're going to remove that title. Well, big up yourself, JD. Respect for the strength. Thanks for sending some folks over. How you doing, my boss? You can handle a little player rating, or that be too long for you.
Yes, I've said I'm gonna do the player ratings over here, and I'm
All
not doing
right.
anything. So I will do it on this channel. So people subscribe to the man channel and get him to 500. So he can build his Arsenal videos. I'm not gonna watch the Arsenal videos. I'm only the Jamaica ones.
Oh,
Get
believe
to
me,
them.
he'll be like every other fan. When Arsenal lose and do the video, he will drop his like. But if they win, he won't turn up. So I know how JD operate. Him don't watch AFTV when them winning them. Only go when them lose. So it will be
Yes,
the same.
yeah, because they're hilarious when they lose. Yes, but tell you what, people, we have to be honest. The kids, we kind of figure out that we were talking the truth from day one. You have some of the kids them that can cut it, and you have some of the kids them that can't cut it, but they could have contributed to some level here and get us over the hill. So I would agree with a lot of people that some of the guys we might need upgrades, but I thought that some of the guys showed that you might can consider them in the next level as well. So I don't agree with everyone. I think some of these guys prove that you need that extra grit and know that they're coming from where they're coming from this round to put them in the next one. I don't think about the big 23 people change. I don't think that's going to be a good squad. So I would keep some of these guys. And I think Blake needed that humble side of him to relax himself and just play some football, because he was acting like he's the biggest player on the field every single time. And he keeps on, it's a terrible tournament for him, to be honest. He scored a goal, but aside from that, we were assessing the game and it was always him overdoing something. So he's too confident and then doesn't realize that he doesn't really have the time on the ball. And he keeps on caught him out. And today it caught him out, three times in one game. So yeah.
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 He did need the humbling. I think, we saw that it's almost like complacency on his part that gets him into trouble. Even the mistakes that he made in this tournament, they were all, brought on by himself. It wasn't under pressure. It wasn't anything like that. It's him thinking he has more time than he actually has. And that is just, to me, overconfidence. And it reared its head again today. So, look, I think that we need to just be a little more truthful when we find players that tend to break out. We can still assess them over time. It doesn't mean because he was so great at one point, he can't have dips and peaks and valleys, right? So that's the thing that I think Jamaica needs to wrap their head around. Just because last time he was a standout doesn't mean this time we can't judge him on everybody else's level. He don't get bonus points because he was somewhere before. We have to assess the situation and the moment. So look, I think that will be the next phase in our people that control the teams and picking of players, for them not to be so caught up in who they wanted to bring from the beginning and reassess at all times, because you might have a different favorite today than 2 years ago, and that's just the way of the world. So we need to not fall in love so much with who we picked, and we have to make it work for that person. There might be someone else that has broken through and passed him now. And if we're not reassessing, we're going to miss those players. So it's important to always reevaluate.
Agreed. I think that is the perfect way to just finish it off. And that reevaluation doesn't just come to the fan base; it comes to the actual people them around that's making decision. Because I remember the fan base kind of funnel them to make the decision here, because at the end of the day they want the benefits through the fan base, so they want the stadium to full or as much people, maximize the revenue, so they're going to put people in the team and stuff there. I think it should be of an evaluation process. I think you should make football be true. People come to the stadium because they want to come to the stadium and you're doing the right thing, rather than you're trying to put a person in the team for people to turn up to the stadium. You understand me? These sentiments need to stop. So I totally agree with you, man. So if we have the little kid, what's his name again? Dixon. If Dixon plays better, which you called that out, and you were right, and I agreed with you from the last stream. He was better, and even today he was still better, aside from the big first tackle, which maybe comes from a little nerves, because in the last part he started with a bad tackle. He left the game with a bad tackle, and then he started with a bad tackle, and then he worked himself in the game. But it was Blake always, and I think maybe even that bad tackle, I still believe that he's uncomfortable beside Blake. I actually believe that's what the problem is, because he's trying to take it serious, and he looks like he's taking it for joke. You know, and maybe that's why I'm telling him.
Even on that first play when it happened, my immediate reaction was, has Blake rubbed off on him? Because I thought Blake did the play, because that got him into trouble in the last game. It didn't get so to the point where Blake had to like make a slide tackle, but he would open his body to the incoming defender and, you know, hold on to it until it's too late, and then it's like a 50-50 ball when it could have easily just been shielded and played somewhere else. So, you know, it's almost like he had a false sense of time, and it was early in the game, and but he didn't recognize the Bermuda man was right there. So any loose touch, it's a 50-50 ball. So, you know, it's bad habits can be, they can kind of rub off on people. And in the early part of the game, it looked like he was just as confident and overconfident as Blake was showing before. You know, it's like he played the game now and he's like, okay, I'm here. Maybe I don't need to prove as much. The coach believe in me. But that little false sense of security caused him to overdo it. So it's tough.
Okay.
It's
all
tough.
Right, so
all right. So
let's run through this.
Let's run through real quick. So first, goalkeeper Twain Lynch as the host. You have the floor, JD. What do you think about his performance?
No, man, you are the host, and I'm the host.
No, as the host, I'm going to give you the floor to give the first.
Actually, you want to give me scores then, but I'm going to give it to the first.
You can alternate.
All right, so Mr. Twain Lynch, I think this is his worst game.
Okay.
I don't know if you agree with me. I think this is the worst game because he was a little bit off. I don't know if it's because these are not the bigger human beings, so they are a little bit more slow with their acceleration. So he gets faster to the ball. These are more nippier, smaller human beings. So he kind of struggled to close down when they are getting inside the box. And I thought that even though most of the incidents were Blake and the other persons caused it, I still believe that he could have gotten to some of them if it was the other teams he was playing. So he bailed them out a lot of times, and now his bailing out was not as high as before. So I would say that I will give him, because he did make a few saves as well. So we're not going to pretend like he never made any saves. So he made a few saves. So I will give him a 6.5. 6.5, maximum 7. You know, because he kept us in the game, but he still could have done better on some of the incidents then. I just believe so. The rushing out from the back was not too sharp, and because he was on the ground every single time, I don't know if he's fully fit, but he had to stay out there. So I have to give him that 0.5 for the Goliath behavior, you know, after staying out there. Yes, so 6.5. I can't give more than 6.5, Bassett.
Yeah, fair. I don't think he was as commanding today as he was in previous games. I don't know what the cause of that was. Maybe you're onto something with just the size of the attackers being a different threat for him this time. But yeah, I think it's gonna sound like I'm stealing it, but I would have to agree. Maybe even would give him a 6, to be honest. They concede 2 goals. So yeah, I think 6 point. I'd probably say a 6 for Lynch today for me. And everybody in the chat, be a part of this, man. What do you think about him? I see Martin gave a 6. Lee Young has a take on Blake. We'll get to Blake. Blake is off since joining USL. Okay, interesting. So you think the USL has caused this? Okay.
Oh Lord.
Mindset said Blake overrated and overhyped. He gets the team in trouble too often. Mindset, I would agree he's overrated. Well, maybe not overrated. I'd say he's overhyped. And I do believe that he does cause trouble sometimes. That is true. Boy, Umza, you always take the extreme. Blake is trash. All right, so everybody seems to want to discuss Blake. So let's move into the back line. Romain Blake. So I will take Blake first. Okay, so for me, Romain Blake, highly touted, of course, in by everyone, most people. I rate the player as well. I remember they were saying he's a tiny human being the last time, but I was trying to tell them that if you're educated enough, you can maybe make up for some of those physical shortcomings, as you see in world football today. It's not just giants playing centre back anymore, but it does help to have the size. But for me, Romain Blake, I think this type of performance where his mistakes cost us have kind of been close to happening for the first two games, and he's just been getting away with a lot of these things. And it's just funny that today now everybody's seeing it come out, and we have been kind of previewing this from the first game. So people need to give us the credit that we can see it before it happens, because what you want to do when you analyze something is try to prevent things from happening. You don't want to wait until it happens. So for me, Blake's performance today, I think for him giving up the penalty and other situations where he could have dealt with it a little better, I'm gonna have to grade him kind of low. So for me, I'm gonna say Romain Blake gets a 4.5 today. Probably gonna be one of my lowest scores on the day.
Okay. For me, I'm not pulling any punches. He's a player that I rate highly, as in one of the local players. And I do have a different local rating scale. So I rate all local guys in one pool, and then I go worldwide, and some of them can go in both pools. And I can put him in both pools, but he would be lower on the both pools, because he has some skill set that you could say, yes, it transcend to the higher level as well, because his passing can be good, but sometimes maybe because his passing is so good, he believes that he needs to do more, and then doing more, he gets just headlighted and just lose himself. So this is the new part of his game. We actually figured out that he might not be as strong mentally as what I first thought. You understand me? Because it's 3 consecutive games, I am seeing now, and I'm realizing that it's a mental thing more than anything else, because you're passing the ball and you're passing it accurate over 60 yards. You're passing it over 30 yards. So you're doing everything accurate. So why then, if you can pass it over 60 and 30 yards, why you need to push it in midfield when the midfielder is already there and nobody blocking him? And then you close down the entire space, and the man can win the ball and then go over the top and run straight through you, and you take a red card. You understand me? So you want to do too much because you're getting so overconfident. Today, he had a few track back, and when they switched the umbrella, he should have closed down. He never got over there in time because he was dragging. I'm hearing back a replay.
Yeah, no, I was just checking the level, but yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, so the lack of ability to figure out or get up to speed to the game really cost him. And I think you're being generous to give him a 4.5. I think he gets the lowest score. You can't miss a penalty, then give away a penalty, give away the next goal. You remember, Jason, all of that happened in one game, A 3 incident, he miss a penalty, him give away a goal, and then give away a penalty, So that is 3 different situations. Blake get a 2. Blake get a 2, my brother. Blake get a 2.
Wow.
And 2
so
after
I went with a 4.5. JD went with a 2. I'm gonna go through the chat and see exactly where we stand.
Saka so far would have given him around 1.5, or the first 1.5, did I say? Because I missed the penalty, that a big chance miss, and then 2 giveaway goals. He might go down to 2.5. Yes, so 2 Blake get for me.
Oh, sorry, Damien, I never mean for dash away. You can click it again here. Yeah, so I went with a 4.5. JD went with a 2. So let's see. Wow, so I see a 1.5 on the board. Damn. Yeah, I can't get super chats right now. It will come in due time. In due time, I appreciate you wanting to send, but it will let you know. All right, so Drew say a 3. Damn. Mr. Man said 4. Travis with the lowest so far today, a 1.5. Jeez. Why, Travis? I thought JD was going to win that trophy, but you take it 1.5.
Yeah, but I've named out 3 incidents, and all of those incidents were
No,
impactful to the game. So
you make a valid point, JD. I mean, when you break it down like that, those would all be -1s to -1.5 if him start
yes,
around a
man,
6.
terrible, man.
Yeah, it's
If you have
close.
games like that
United
in
said
big
2.
teams, you don't get back games for a while, man. If you have games like that in big teams, you don't get back games for a while. So luckily it's Jamaica, you can just use the hype and get back a game,
Cyan Bowen said 1. Bessas documentary 3. Mr. United 2. Richard Samuel said 2. So yeah, look like I went way too high. So I'm not going to change it. I'll stay with my 4.5. But JD make a tough argument. I might have to say a 3.5 makes more sense, makes more realistic sense. Everyone, big up. This is my family, my brother from another. This is my
Big up.
family, Damien.
Big up.
Damien, we're just going through the player ratings for the game. I don't know if you had a chance to find the stream, but if not, you can just
No, I did not have a chance to watch the game today.
Well, you missed a crazy one. We were
A cracker.
dominating 2-0, and then the game became a mad game, and we ended up scraping a 3-2 victory. So we're just going through the player ratings real quick, but big up for
Beautiful.
the support. Share up the thing, like up the thing.
All the time.
And people.
Bless up, JD.
Yeah, man.
Bless up, big boss. Bless up.
Yeah, so funny enough, when my family Damien says bless up JD, I immediately respond because when I was growing up in Jamaica, that used to be my nickname. And
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
JD is going to say that I am making it up and it's the metric for the competition and all these things. But anybody that know me from Jamaica, that was my original name. I had never had a reason to bring it up, but now that my family, who has known me a very long time, is here, he can say that I'm not just making up things. So it took a long
time. The man tell lies, man.
Here we go.
Nah, it's true. He might tell true story, man.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, man, float management, me full of story, brother. Trust me. Anybody who know that. But anyway, let's get back to the ratings. So the center back partner for Blake. So look, it looked like the crowd basically say between a 2 and a 3 for Blake, based on all the ratings. So low ratings for Blake, which I think is warranted today. His center back partner is junior partner. I hear Dixon, who played more like his senior partner. I think I hear Dixon surprised me, people. When the squad came out, there were 2 players I was surprised with being on there. Nick Simmons and I hear Dixon. And both players make me have to put my hand up and give these players a chance when they get picked. Because I hear Dixon I thought was solid. Apart from the early part of the game, when he had that one early mistake, once he settled into the game, one thing I like about him, for such a young player, he's very composed. You don't see him losing his composure, gesticulating to the referee. He just plays the football game, and I like that about him. So I have seen improvement from the U17 to now. He looks like he's gained a little more strength as well, because he wasn't really getting bounced off the ball or anything. So I think I hear Dixon is one to look out for coming up. I don't know if when we compile everybody, if he'll still be there, but I think he should be proud of what he did in this tournament. And I think I hear Dixon for me gets a 6 today. Solid. 6.5. 6.5.
I agree with you. I think I hear Dixon. Worst off, he started off with a mistake that he recovered from as well. Yes, because we have to drop in that he recovered from it. And he had around 3 to 4 link-up plays. And what I like about him, he always go the safest route to start the transition. And not just the safest route because you are saying that he's a coward. No, he picks the safest route to start the transition. So, like, he's making sure you can sustain attacks rather than trying to be the starter and the ender of the attacks. And that's why I would say that over the last 2 games, he was better than Blake. You understand me? And as what Jason said, if we're not going to use sentiments, this guy has improved himself or showcased that he could be something on the big stage, and maybe we need to start watching clearer, to be honest. So I would say, yeah, I would say 6.5 is fair. I would stick with the 6.5. I would stick with the 6.5. He did his job, man. Even at the troubled times, he was the one actually calling out Blake. Like he's not operating like he's afraid. Brother, you're not doing the right thing, you know.
Yeah,
Stop laughing
I
off the man.
noticed when Blake gave
Yeah.
up the penalty, he's telling the ref what the guy did, and like I could see Dixon saying, "Brother, you're from behind, you go around the man," and Blake is telling him, "No," but it just shows like, yeah, that showed me something. Like, listen,
Like that. Yeah, I
get your
like
head
it,
in the
man.
game. You're losing it for us. Come on, get it together, you know. So for him to have that, knowing that Blake is the captain, play U20 before, for him to tell him like, hey, you gotta shape up. That shows leadership. So yeah, kudos to the kid. Good work. Okay, so on the back line, on the right back side, I think we had the first goal scorer today, Robino Garden. So JD, what do you have to say about his performance today?
His short passes are good. His positioning, I don't think is the best, because I told you that. And believe me, you see, after I talked to you in the first half, you realize what happened in the second half. Yes, his ability to come out of position. But you know, I'm not going to blame him so much, because you see, all them Phoenix Balaya and Balaya where I play now is like them have this is Jamaica's flair. That's how I learn. You know, so them have this high advancing thing about them. All of these right backs and left backs, they just play that way that they don't really understand the danger. So I don't think he deals with the danger right, because what he does, he stops at the top of the defensive third a lot of times, and that is easy to cut out. I don't know why I do, because that makes sense in football. But I like him. I like his attitude, his high energy. So you can still like something about the player, but you can say that if he gets a better coach, not a better coach, but if he goes higher in football, they will teach him to be better at defending, because he starts from a losing position to try and recover. So when he does something, he has to go over the top to do it, because he's already too high up the pitch. But his passing is overlapping. I like his overlapping. Obviously, he was already sitting in a higher advanced position, because he only cares about overlapping. So, but I like it, and I just said, if he gets a goal, you have to give him respect. I think he only made only 2 of them actually hurt the team. 2 of those splitting passes. So I think you have to take a maybe by 0.5, so 7.5. You could give him. I think 7.5 is fair. But if he had stayed on his line, he would have been 8 and up there as the man of the match, you know. So Garden deserve back a looking, you know, or some schooling in preparation to the next leg. You know, I'm not saying because I think USA and those teams will tear through him, you know.
One thing I will say, for a player out of the camp he's from, he seems to be not one of the like high maintenance ones, right? You kind of don't put it this way. Most of the players that come out of that camp, it's like it's always some theatrics going on, like ref cussing, falling down. He just seems to just be a player that does play the game, which I like. I do agree that his positioning, I don't know if he quite, with better coaching, I think he can play the position better. Or more coaching, more opportunities to play, more reps. I think he's somebody that can learn, because I think his mentality is the right mentality. He just goes out and plays.
Facts.
I do think that I like what he brings attacking, and I think in the duels he's very good. But I think the last thing for him now is the positioning. So with more reps, more game time, I don't know when he'll get a chance to play games, because that outfit don't play games, them just train. But I think he needs game time more than anybody, honestly. So, but for me, for today's ratings, I think he scored the first goal. He hit the post with a shot. Pretty much won most of his duels when he was in them. And apart from positioning, I thought he was solid. So I think, what marks him down is some of those missed bad positionings. So I would say the 8.5 might come down to a 7.5 if you look at it in totality.
Okay.
So I'm going to push him up a little more to a 8 because he scored the goal and hit the post one time to almost make it a second. So I'll give him an 8 for today. People in the chat, how do you think Robina Garden did? Let me see some numbers.
So what about playing him as a wing back? You think that would have been better served because it looked like his offensive ability is way more, and his energy, but not. I think those are higher than his defensive ability.
To be honest, JD, I don't think that he's not a good defender. I just believe that if he's gonna play in a back four, he just needs to get some more drilled in terms of timing of when to go and when to sit. That I think is the last thing he needs to master. Because again, when he gets into a challenge and has to win a ball, he normally comes off winning the ball. So I don't think his defending is bad, that he can't defend. I just think that he needs some help with his positioning, timing, when to do the overlap. Sometimes you might need to underlap and not go make space, go clog that right space again. So those little nuances of the position he just needs to get a little bit more. And I think with coaching he can learn because he looks like a guy that's willing to learn. And that's
yes.
Normally.
You're right. Yeah. You're right because you pointed out something. He looks like he's less high maintenance. So maybe it is humbleness caused that. But you're right.
And hopefully this tournament does not make him now become the one that he want to talk about because maybe it's not good for this
God,
player.
Don't put it too close to the front of the video because it might turn him into a star. And then I hate that,
For real. So Robina Garden, I think 7.5 is fair. I see some scores. Martin Baker says 7.7. Omzo says 6.5. All right, cool. So we'll move to the next flank now. The other player on the back line, the left back, who was very attacking today, but did everything. Christopher Ainsworth. So you did the first one, so I'll do this one now. Ainsworth today, I thought we got to see him in a different position, but for the most part, he was playing left wing in the first half, it looked like, because we were dominating the possession. In the second half, he had to defend a bit more. I think he was solid, doing pretty much either one. I would have loved the crossing accuracy to be a little bit better. I thought in the first half he could have connected on some more of his crosses. But a player that I have time for, I think he has a lot of I think he has a high ceiling. I think he has some more places to go. I'm hoping that some of the recent moves that some of the Cavaliers players have made has kind of put in Speed's mind that we have to be careful where we're sending our players and when to send them. And I think he has learned, and he's kind of treating Ainsworth with some kid gloves a little more than maybe some of the others. And I think that's a smart thing to do because I do think if he goes into the right situation, it's a player that in a few years' time we could be hearing big things from. But I think for today's performance, I think he was one of the more solid players. Maybe got away with giving away a penalty. It ended up being right outside the box, so I'll have to take off a little there. But I think he was solid enough. I think he has had. I want to say, would you say this was his best game? I don't think it was his best game of the three. I thought maybe the last game might have been a little better for him, but it's close because he wasn't so bad today either. I would say today I would give him a 6.5, heading towards a 7, like maybe even 6.75. I don't want to mark him too low, and I don't think he was, great, but he did his job. He did his job. So 6.5 to 7 for me. What do you think, JD?
6.5 to 7. 6.5 to 7. Yeah, I like the player. I thought I'm going to give him a better report. A slight better report there. He's a good player, man, and he had a good game. According to all the coach set up, because you have to look at it every single time the coach set up. You have to look at all the people adjusting. You understand me? And I do believe that he adjusted well. In the first half, yes, he went high at the pitch and he looked comfortable doing up the pitch because obviously he's actually a winger / midfielder, left midfielder. So he shows that he's comfortable in all of those positions. His crosses, you said that majority of his crosses are dangerous. Maybe they never connected That is true, but they still cause problems, and then people latched on the opposite wing. So I wouldn't really take away points from that, because if it still creates something and not just outside, like kick it outside, like when then the Mackenzie kick the corner, and back in the days, none never even lift, it just roll into the box. It wasn't like that. It was some problematic thing. So I want to say that I wouldn't give him high marks like over 6-7, but 7 should be the right one. He was active for me. He was active, so I'm gonna leave it at 7. You know, I'm not gonna go over the top. I'm gonna leave it at 7. I think, yeah, 7 is okay for me. He's a talent though. He proves that he has something in him, and it proves that if you keep on being humble and keep on going the right way, right direction, things can reach good for you. And that's what I think about Ainsworth. So I want him to reach further in life so bad, you know, because I want that to be the example of kids coming out of Jamaica, you know.
Absolutely. So yeah, I agree there. Umzo says 6.5, so that's close to what we were saying.
Yes.
Yeah, anybody else just give your scores fast for Ainsworth? All right, let's move into the engine room now, into the midfield. So let's do Xander Bicknell first.
Xander Bicknell? You're gonna do Xander Bicknell? Let me close this.
Yeah, I will start out with Xander. I think Xander Bicknell for me was just behind the pace pretty much most of the times he played this tournament. Just didn't seem to be able to get up to speed. You know, he's basically somebody that's gonna block zones in the midfield, not really gonna win tackles or anything. So if he's not in position when the play is building up, he's pretty much obsolete. He can't go and win a ball. That's not really his strength. You know, the couple times he did try to go into a drill. Yes.
Wait a second, him can't go win a ball. That's an name strength.
No, I think he's a zone blocker. I don't think he's going to go win the ball. I think he can stand.
So engine.
I don't see it. When he goes and engages with a player, it seems like he's too easily beaten. You know, he just goes and.
No, I mean I disagree there.
I know you draw me out for set more, but may I try for set things like I don't want to play a cities and stop play football. You know, I want him continue to try, you know. So but look, Xander, just work on that, man. Work on your lateral movement. I think you're not moving quickly enough to stop people. And just keep working on your game. I'm going to say that you're not 100% because even the last time I saw you play at this level, it's not like you were, you know, just dominating, but you didn't look as good. You didn't look as bad the last time as you did this time. So I don't know what happened with you this time.
He played very good in the first game, you know, like he tried in the first game, you know. You remember what happened in the second game, so you can't just say he never look as bad. Like you're just closing off one chapter.
I'll put it this way: that one game in the first game when he came on, I never saw anything like that this tournament. So put it that way, because he did struggle in the second game, end up on the ground all the time, just getting bounced off the ball. But for me, I think Bicknell just was really there as a passenger today. Didn't really do much to influence the game, so I can't give him more than a standard like 5 or 4.5. I'll give him a 5. I mean, it's not like he was like poor because he didn't really get on the ball and lose it very much, but I would like my midfielder to try to get on the ball more. And, you know, you don't really see him like demanding the ball ever. He's just kind of there to make sure that team is there, I guess. But we need to see more from him. Didn't see enough. So I'd say about a 4.5 to a 5 maybe.
4.5 to a 5. Oh, yeah, generous. Phil B said, for any level, if we had 23 born, 23 born in Jamaica that played overseas would be okay with no players born outside of Jamaica. And I mean playing top football at JD. But our conversation was never lined up where you're born, you know, because I am just telling you that Christopher Ainsworth, I like him as a role model to set the tempo for kids, and I want him to go as far as possible. So you asking this question is just like the farthest thing from what we are saying. So I don't know why when we speak it can ever come off like that. Nah, man. I always want these kids to go places, but the one thing I will do, I will evaluate them and tell them when they're not at the level. And because our country is not developed in football, we tend to get more of those players not at the level and who is actually at the level. You understand me? So that's why you might get the repetitive conversation rather than we saying we find a superstar every 20 days because we're just not producing that. But if we have the best players, the best players that will be selected once the coach want them, 100%. Big nail for me, Jason. I remember when it was 2-2 and Big Nell saved a ball. So I'm gonna give him 4.5, because that ball alone that he saved, believe me, it would have stressed me out and I would have been broken my monitor. So Big Nell he stops a ball, but I agree with everything I said. Big Nell just shadowing people. And a man I saw a man tiptoe around Big Nell. I
And that's what I meant about the lateral movement, because even on that play, it's not like the guy did anything to move him, just move the ball one side and move to another side and just go around him. Like no kind of shoulder drop, nothing. Just push the ball one side and push the other side and gone.
Yeah, so, man, so me, I continue trying.
So what you say? Give him? What you say? Give him a 4.5?
I will agree. I will agree on the 4.5 or 4.5. Yeah, I will agree. It was not the best performance,
So everybody in the trash 3.5 trash panda settings. Wow. All right, Omzo. Okay, Phil B, I clear it up. I never said you're saying that. I'm asking, would every Jamaican be okay with no players overseas if we had 23 players born in Jamaica?
Well, I think everybody would be okay as well.
Phil B, I'll tell you this. People would be more okay with that than the opposite.
Yes.
That much I can tell you.
Agreed. I think if that's the case, we would have conceded and be happy with it 100%. And then the masses would have been happy with it as well. So I think everybody would be okay. It's the opposite way around problem would have caused. Yes.
Okay, Travis, respect the update. So 4-0. So that's what? 6-0 on aggregate. Okay, so
not bad.
Good try. Hopefully you use the funds wisely that you got and you improve the team. All right, good try and come forward again next year.
Yeah, that's not bad. Based on the fact that they conceded it too early, not really bad,
Know yourself. I like that one there. But now I read it out, but I'm gonna leave it there. All right, so we did Big Nell. Okay, the other midfielder we finally got to see midfield, JD. Ronaldo Barrett.
Ronaldo Barrett. I think he's one of the players. I think he's the breakout player of the tournament. They put him in a bad position, and he still found a way to actually showcase that he has different range of skill set. And he can be adaptable. His control was poor throughout the first half of the first two games, but he worked himself in both of those games to push himself up to even 6.5 in a position that he's not comfortable. And every single time we get a red card, he seems to be the player that steps up even better because he could get to come off the higher line because we're trying to drop at least 3-5 around there. And he's always one working in midfield. And he always seems to look good. So for this one, Barrett easy well get upwards of the 7.5 for me. I think he did well. In the time when Big Nell was having people running out rings around him, obviously when they pass Big Nell, if three of them kind of zone him, it's going to be hard for him to start the ball. So I'm not going to blame him for that if the next man just come like him having a cement boot. You understand me? Yes, I can't blame him for that. So I will still give him a high mark. I think 7.5 to 8 is okay. He was very, very good. He was the engine of the team, and he shows me something else. He's a very good player. He is a very good player. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think Ronaldo Barrett, to me, I think I think if we had seen at any point Welsh and him in midfield, I think we would have saw the best version of this team that could possibly have. Because I think that's a good balance between the two of them. What their skill sets bring. I think it's like a perfect
one stop and work between the channels them to take the ball away, and one would have glide to link up play with who or is a wing forward. You understand me? Yeah, I get you, man. I agree.
Yeah, so I would have loved to have seen that. We didn't get the chance to, but maybe in the future we will. But I think for today's performance, I think it was almost like when like let's say you just get a new PS5, and before you open the box, you have 17 million things to do for your family. And finally you're done, and you get to open your PS5 and play the first game. So that's what Barrett looked like today on the field. Like him finally get to do him one upon a football field, play midfield. And the guy was playing incredible. He had a great game. I remember there was one play in particular where he got it in the midfield and he was surrounded. And just the way how him embraced like he was going to turn one way, him take the two of them out of the game. Simple, easy. Good player, man. Good player. Cultured left foot. I think for me, the last thing that I would love to see for him is when he's just having more conviction when he's playing a through pass. I think sometimes still kind of just play the ball to an area when you could maybe be a little more, believe more in the pass. You know what I'm saying? So on the safe passes, he's 100%. The next step for me is to see, can you break lines with some passes now, right? That's what I want to see from him next. But other than that, I like the player a lot, man. And I think on today's performance, him can't get any less than a 7.5, and it could even stretch to an 8. To be honest, what people in the chat think? I say 7.5. Omzo at the time, yes, brand new PS5. That was my analogy. If you don't like it, then I don't know what to tell you. Omzo.
Oh my God! You don't realize
one thing I have to rate. You the same no matter where there. So I rate that about you. I know where you'll get. You'll keep up on with toes. And JD, they tell me, when you're not just on the stream, you're gonna see why I cuss all them people all the time. So let me see how much people cuss.
It just started. I want at the first day, so you can get away today and go like say a win, and you go like a win. No, if you no cuss. You go like you win and say, "Oh,
yeah." So moving up the pitch now. We had in the number 10 role to start the game. We had Brian Burkett. So JD, what did you think of Brian Burkett's performance today?
Brian Burkett is a funny human being, man. Brian Burkett tried to kick a ball and he made a triple spin and the ball goes nowhere. But he's a high energy player. I like him. I like his effort and everything. At one time I thought it was Ian Jordan, when I realized it's him. So and he was the one that put the assist in, right?
Yes, he crossed the ball for Gordon's goal. Yeah.
So he was the one that put the assist in. Yeah, he was lively. His overlaps were very good. His link up plays were very good, and sometimes he takes the inside channel, which I don't normally see all the wingers them do, even including Ainsworth. I realize that they don't do inside channel much of the time.
Remember though, JD, in the first half, he actually started out in the inside channel. It was Cohen and Reynolds on the wing.
Okay,
and when Cohen sub off, he went out there. So
okay. But he was actually playing, going out and in. So most time people overlapped. But sometimes I see him take the inside channel and open a next play for someone to run, and you just guide it to them. So you can whip across in, or you can either find a way to get an angle. So I thought that he looks like he could be he's a better player than what we saw, and we might need more time to evaluate him properly because he works at the angles better than majority of the other players that I've seen today. I don't know if it's by accident, but he looks like he's working the angles better than most people. So I like that, and that's why I'm saying maybe none of the players have this whole package, but everyone of them have something that you can say them actually good at,
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah,
even though people, and that's something now customer because I really sit down and watch them today, and I'm saying, some of these players have some things about them that if you work on something like polish off this and maybe add just the fundamentals, you could actually make them in a design footballer. Yeah, so he was one of them that I think if you work on him, he can become a better baller and a good baller that can be good for enough teams in the world, So keep
yeah.
playing up youth
I
and keep
think
pushing.
I think Burkett's superpower is what you brought up. His positioning, his ability to combine with other players. Kudos to the Ballers Academy. Kudos to George's College,
Oh, my
because those are where he would get his main development. And now he's lucky enough to be coached by Lenny Hyde at Dunby Holden now. So he has
okay,
been going through
okay.
the hands of some very good coaches in Jamaica. I think he probably is one of those players that people maybe expected more from in the Manning Cup. So maybe that's why his
Mm-hmm.
star kind of faded a little bit. But when you put him in the role that he played today, in the two previous games, it was Denzel McKenzie playing the role, and you could see the fluidity was a lot better in attack, especially in the first half. And I thought today was the first time where I saw interchanging happening, because even you are saying he did so well on the left side. It was really because
Mm-hmm.
him, Cohen, and Go were kind of more fluid in their movement. And we weren't really seeing that type of
Yes,
fluid
yes,
movement in
yes.
the first couple of games. So, we have to give him
But
some of the
oh yeah,
credit for
I
just
love it. Put
finding
the
space
games.
better
I love it.
than Mackenzie
I
was
love it.
in
Put the
that role.
overall games them. I love you added. Love that you added the overall
Yeah,
games in
yeah,
because that's what I thought he brought different. Because no, you don't have one on
yeah.
ones. You have a double overlapping on one side. So that means you can either ping it around him, you can whip it in without extra pressure on one player. You have a variety of options. You can have a third person because it gives you the luxury for a third person to run off and come back or drop over to the far stick. It can offset everything. So what I saw, I like it. I like it.
Yeah, man. And I think for Burkett, if his score, he got an assist, played well. I'll say Burkett gets a 7 for me. Solid performance. Solid.
7? No, man. I thought you would have given him a 7.5, because I put him up there too. 7.5. I like it, man. I
Yeah, I
think
mean, look, he,
that,
he didn't come off. He played the entire game. Um, yeah, maybe I'm marking him too hard, JD.
yeah,
You
man. I think
convinced me.
7.5 is,
Seven
is, is
seven
okay
point five
because
is fair. Got an
he
assist.
brings something. Look,
Yeah,
I think you're not looking at the whole item. Look, you see him, what Goey does, it him and enhance what Goey does because without him, Goey can't be on the pitch.
true.
Because the central forward need a person that has decoy runs because remember he's not as strong as a normal striker to hold the ball, so he needs to pick up positions, so they have to be offsetting somebody else over there, so the double up overlapping, and that's what we were not looking at because I'm looking at it right now as I'm talking. That's why the player them couldn't latch on to any one individual and we start getting
Right,
isolated moments, and I
right.
think he was the one doing it. Even if we're going to give Bowie the credit because he's centrally, we have to look at who moving when you're staying static. So people know you're staying static and you're drawing that defender, but who is the next one they can't latch onto? You just like when I was talking about Wisma in the game,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm saying the reason the 67 minutes when he was over one side, he's just doing what he's doing wide and staying one side. So the man can stay on the next man and then they can't move. So Middlesbrough can just deal with them. So they care what you do over here. So two play now gonna move past them because the ball move faster than anybody. And if you dribble, you can't. So I like that's what I'm telling you people. We should not judge names. Watch what the players them do. And this kid, what he does, showcase. I never knew that he was under so much managers, but based on what the man do, in the term, say man do something different, and that shows you that we're watching football. Yeah, because
Yeah,
what he
and,
was
and
doing
and
is important.
you mentioned the fluidity and the movement. I think we had more overloads in this game than we had in the first two
Mhm.
combined.
Combine. And it was
So
because of one player.
yeah, it
One
was
player.
because of
Just standing
the
one place on the
intelligence
pitch.
of the movement of the player in that role, and that role is made to combine. So if you're not combining with people in that role, you really haven't done anything. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Burkett gets one of the higher scores. It looks like most people saying 8s. 7.5. Okay, Travis, first war of the day. Well, no, it don't look like a war. Lenny Hyde, a practical coach. He need to pass the theory in football. It's different now. Simple as that, Jason Gooner. Okay, I understand. Everybody, whenever Lenny Hyde name come up, tell me he don't pass tests and everything. But at the end of the day, I still think that the man can develop players. Maybe we can't give him a national team because we have these standards, but that doesn't mean he can't develop the players that we're going to use for the national team, because clearly he can develop players. We have seen it time and time again. So I'm not going to beat him.
May I stay 20 more minutes here, Max? You know, because I have to go sleep.
Yeah, man. My wife already looked for me at the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, man. No, you tell her, say, yeah, we can stop and we can do it the next time.
No, all right. So look, we only have a few players left. So let's just run through them real quick. We're going to do the wingers one time, JD. So we're going to do Dustin Cohen and Ashton Garden, right? Because he came on early for him. And we can also throw in Reynolds in it. So 3 player one time for kind of make it go.
All right. So Dustin Cohen, him still not get enough time to impress. The first time he never really impressed, and this time the injury, right? So So and then Ashton Garden scored a peach of a goal. He was always lively, cutting inside especially. So he offers something different from the opposite side. So the opposite side are the far whipping crosses and the overloading through those two bodies, and then him cutting inside. So they have 3 different combination of things that they need to sort out. So he brought diversity to the back, the front. So I like that, and he had a goal, and he had several darting runs to whip it across the goal, and maybe better positioning could have turned out different. So based off that, I like it. I think Garden, I would give him a solid 7.5. He came on under the system, and he did what he had to do, you know. So 7.5.
7.5 for Garden. Fair. All right, so.
Yes,
we're going through all the winger them. So that's
the next winger, the one that came off, I'm not going to give him anything, you know.
Yeah, man. Me not talk about Reynolds.
Okay, Reynolds, Speedy Gonzalez. Reynolds is just a special human being. That's all I know. He can do something fantastic, and then you just can see a fantastic foolishness after. So basically you're getting all ends of the spectrum with Reynolds. You're getting some brilliance, and you're getting some madness. Okay. Yes, he's so fast. So, but he got a goal, and next, I think his goal was the best goal. Yes. Regardless of what people want to say, his goal was the best goal.
So those goals were people arguing that for real?
No, maybe the last goal people wanted to give it because under the pressure and what he did under the pressure, and he had to leap it off over the goalkeeper and get it under the goal post at the same time. So difficult.
Okay. So Ashton,
when you have less backlift on it, rather than you're going straight up to a ball, because you're a striker, you should have known how to kick the ball.
Yes. The hardest strike was Reynolds, because he's running away from goal and he got so much power to get it back the other way. So I understand that the degree of difficulty was more.
Yes, the degree of difficulty. But so Mr. Reynolds, big ups to you. You have given us great entertainment. That's one thing I know. You're going to be entertaining, and I'm going to say this. I would have picked him over Whisper. I'm very sorry.
Wow, they're going to clip you, all the clip bosses. You hear that? He said he would go Reynolds over
President, what I see from President Whisper, what I see today, I would have picked him over because he gives me the same thing, but he's a little bit fitter. He's actually a little bit fitter because he will run the entire damn day. No, he's not a little bit fitter. I'm very sorry. He's way fitter.
Yeah, I saw Reynolds helping Gordon today.
Yes.
Like actually way back. So, we don't have to worry about that, the rate of work from him. We don't have to worry about that.
Alj, come in here, Alj, the first Pillar man joining.
Oh, Lord.
The reason
Alj, big up yourself, like the show. before you start cuss. Like. All right, people. I see somebody in the comments. I have a highlight. So you see this name here, Michael Hall. I never have to see the game for know say this squad can't qualify for World Cup. So
okay, that's so like your father.
The first comment from my father on my channel is burning out the damn team. So they can't qualify. Him say him never have a seat for know them can't qualify. So daddy, respect, like the video. Anybody who know that name, that is my father. If you watch sports in Jamaica, you might know the name. Yes, that is Jason Gooner's father. You might actually see him on the channel from time to time. So yeah. Big up yourself, daddy. Respect. So,
all right.
So yeah, we just the players
now.
now. So Cohen, two on the field too short. I'm not going to grade him. Standard 5,
no.
5.5, whatever.
Yeah, give all in 5, you
know. Then substituted on Gordon, got the goal at the end. I thought he was showed good endeavor, good fight. I think his touch can be a little clean at times. I remember he had a breakaway and just pushed it too far one time. So, could clean up that a little bit. But I did like what I saw in terms of him being able to link play. Very, very, I think him and Burkett had a good understanding when they were together on that wing. So I like what I saw there. So for Gordon scoring the goal, I'll have to give him a 7.5.
7.5?
Then Reynolds, I think he scored a brilliant goal. I thought, I wish were able to isolate him more. The one time he got a ball isolated, he scored a goal in the whole competition. So I wish we could unlock that play where he got the ball, edge of the box, one or two defenders. We just never got him in that area with the ball ever.
So Jason, am I being disrespectful if I said I would pick him over Whisper? Is it there's a far stretch? Based of the argument, because Aldrey started cussing and said what to me and stuff. So based of the argument, because remember me, I look at what Mr. Whisper doing. But me just feel like say I've never seen him done it at a higher level. And I think this under 20 is a higher level than Manning Cup, regardless of what we think. Even this round is still a higher level. And it's the same level of cutting in and driving down the wing. And I think he has way more energy than him. So that's why I'm saying I'm not going to throw away the kid if he gave me something. If I see something from Whisper in the future, I would reconsider. But for what I saw from him the other day, I think this kid, I would pick him today. I don't know if it's a far-fetched,
Yeah, look, I don't think it's disrespectful. I think it's just being honest with yourself. We haven't seen Whisper. All right, so we've seen Whisper play for the national team. And I would say every time we have seen him play, all we really see is a glimpse of something. But for the most part, we are seeing deficiencies more than anything. So we're seeing that he can't combine very well with the other players. We're seeing that his work rate might not be up to par if he's in certain positions. We're almost putting the player behind him on defense on the right side in trouble just by him being on the field. So there's a lot of factors that would make sense what you said, because from what we've seen of this player so far, the only difference that we could see is that he never played Manning Cup and he never scored Sportsmax goal of the week. That's really the only difference, They play the same position, they play the same, they look to try to do the same things. One just looks to be match fit and able to run for 90 minutes, and one looks like he has about 25, 30 good minutes in him, and then there's no more right now. So based on those things, why would you not pick the player that can do it for longest periods of time?
I understand. That's what I was thinking in my brain. But when I say it out, Algie, does this come here from anywhere? So I don't know. I give up, I give up. I'm going to make wifey take away. And then maybe we try tomorrow when the pillar man them energized, because the pillar man them tired.
All right, so we draw out. So this conversation draw out Algie. So we'll get Algie shine. Whisper playing League 2, and we all know Whisper wasn't fit. Whisper is the youngest Jamaican goal scorer in Gold Cup. one game can't determine if you should pick a player. Come on. So no 3 game we see LJ and a 1.
And how much game we see for the national team for Whisper? Around 10. Right.
Whisper play, I think Whisper play 7 game and 3 must say game where them never count.
Yeah, man, around 10. Yeah, so we see 10.
Okay, this is this is a good. All right. So look, we don't want to disrespect no player. So make we just give Tyrese go a rating, and then I want to tackle this Phil B thing, and then that is it for the evening. So Tyrese go, I will say Tyrese go for me gets a 6.5. I thought his movement was good. I wanted him to be a little bit more on the ball though, but at the same time, I'm not going to kill him because again, I thought he was in the right spaces. Even when you saw Simmons come on, it almost was like they got used to how Go played and never realized Simmons was on the pitch because they ran into each other a bit more after that.
Facts. Good.
But I will still say for Go 6.5. I think he's one of the players that I wish we could have seen maybe playing with Simmons behind him to link the play.
But that would have changed. That means you wouldn't have Burkett in.
No. I'm saying in the first 2 games you wouldn't have Mackenzie. Yeah. And you play. You can play.
But Go would have played for Mackenzie, and then now you'd have had Christopher Yainsworth out at one of the attacking midfielder because Go would have been essential for behind the striker. You understand me? So it would have changed up a lot of things. So so that's what I'm looking at. I'm just looking at it.
Maybe would have been better. You never know.
I think it would have been better because that's what I was telling people. Remember, people say I'm mad, but remember I told you say, and wingers we need 2 central either attacking midfielder or central forwards on the field. And today they tried it, that's what they tried more than anything else, to try to get inside, even if they're not. Remember, said the man we were talking about that them try do. I try occupy that space at the inside channels rather than the outside. Outside, them have to think too much, and I try exert too much speed. I try grow on you, so it make it too difficult. But because we always talk about big, fast, and strong, it seems like we have to try that first, and then when it now work. Yeah, tomorrow I have January time. Tomorrow, people.
Yeah, man. Tomorrow, I'm going to building tomorrow. But listen, the final thing we're gonna do before we go, Phil B ask a question here. And I want the chat to get involved with this. LJ, me know your answer, but you can put it anyway. So you guys don't think Whisper would have dominated this tournament? So JD, I'm going to ask you honestly. You've seen who we played in this tournament. You've seen the opposition. You saw how Jamaica was playing. Do you think Whisper on this team would have dominated?
And I saw what he's doing in Chelsea now.
Yes.
I saw what he did in the overall collective.
Yeah, because remember, Phil B, we have to keep in mind the level of fitness Whisper have right now. So could Whisper even play 3 games in 6 days? I don't know.
He wouldn't play the whole of the games in 6 days, and he wouldn't dominate the games. I think you'd have seen he would have maybe get a few shots off, but he wouldn't dominate the games. He wouldn't dominate no game, brother. I'm very sorry. People disrespect fitness and education in football, and that kid has a lot of things to learn. I think we are disrespecting the other people, them kids that we see a play now. The children that have the name because they never come through the Manning Cup. He wouldn't dominate nothing. I'm very sorry, LJ. You're going to learn later because remember, everything I'm going to tell you, keep on learning. He wouldn't dominate. He wouldn't dominate in U20, and he might go come in the next one. I'm not going to dominate it either because he might have to improve onto what we see. Film dominated, and remember you have to come here 15 as a team to dominate because no, you can't just get 23 players, put on a field and then dominate nothing. It not gonna work. It's very hard. We keep on try disrespect football in JC, I feel like we're truly try disrespect football, You think you just put people on field and dominate nothing? If you get the most money in the world and you have to wait a season to get to it, and them and they are football god. And everybody in my buy is a football them god too as well. and they're not dominating nothing. They have to wait and structure things up. And then after 3 years now, you start to see the true shape of what they want. They tried and come on, man. Come on, dominate one, man. You think so just run up and down by yourself? Alj. See them say Liam Bailey. No, Liam Bailey Aston Villa for 3 years. 3 seasons. He failed 2 of the seasons then. So stop make up an excuse. What the problem is, you just want to lie to yourself so bad, you actually forgot common decency to just think. The man asked me a question and I can't lie to you. The guy is not in better condition than the youth that we saw. And the youth we saw play exactly like him, exactly, but it's way more added more mobility on him. He played the exact same way, but he's more of a team-oriented player because he goes up and down the pitch, but he has the same traits. And I can tell you, I would have picked this youth, Reynolds, today over him. If I'm coaching Chelsea, I'm picking the youth Reynolds over him. That is just the truth.
Well, people, JD answer that. I don't need to answer that because that made perfect sense what I just heard just now. Yes, Travis, them sell we a bunch of meat and me never buy none. We just watch the game them. Even though Chris Smith beat me, I say me say whisper for the night team. I'll know me not find the video where me say that, but Chris Smith, big up yourself anyway there. Let me see. There was one last thing. Okay, me know me this is the last thing, but this will be quick. Umzo, may I give you the last one. If we had to pick 2 players from this team to join the senior side for tomorrow World Cup qualifier match, who would you both pick? Okay, me go first that time. Yeah. If we had to pick 2 players off of this team for a World Cup qualifier match, I'm going to say Ronaldo Barrett because we need midfielder. And trust me, I think Ronaldo Barrett could have get a game today in the midfield, to be honest. And then the second player, even though we're full of them, Tawin Lynch. He's the only other player I see. If he was in the goal, I wouldn't say I would be perfectly great with it, but I think he could hold his own in an international game in the goal with a defense in front of him. So for me, the 2 I would say is Barrett and Lynch.
I'm going
to... Sorry. I forgot to add a 2.5. Welsh could have gone in a team too. So 3. Sorry, Umzo, I go one more, but may I take my liberties and to do 3. So Lynch, Welsh, and Barrett for me.
All right. So I'm going to go with Welsh and Barrett. Yes, Welsh and Barrett. Those are the 2 obvious picks. Period. If I answer it, I'm not going to let him out. I think that kid can do work at a high level, you know. Obviously, it's not his best showing, but he was still good in a bad team, just the same. He was good enough in a bad team. So, yeah, I would say my 2.5 would be Ainsworth. So, Christopher Ainsworth, Welsh, and Barrett. And the goalkeeper, keep up a good work. You did a good job, believe me.
Me know, Travis, me know. None of them not ready, but the question was asked, so me just answer, you know? But, yeah, that is true. So, everybody I laugh after my father. What him say now? Umzo, if we pick 2 players from this team, dog, now we support. Oh, boy. Well, that's true, that's still daddy. But, yo, everybody, I just want to say big up, JD, respect for the strength and coming on and sending some people over here. First of many people, definitely going to make the channel grow, and we want to do it organically and the right way. And you know, from a turn on the camera, we're just going to talk football straight. We're not afraid of the repercussions. We're not business. Right? So,
all right. Until it comes.
Big up. I know, right? Until that day when I don't talk straight again.
No, you're just deep.
Man, Juras.
Oh, my God.
Juras, don't worry yourself. Me I go get my stuff together. And once I figure out this thing, everybody will forget wrench, I get wrench. Juras, I'll get a wrench because I know you take it serious. I need people who take it serious to do it. So, big up yourself. Blessings to everyone. Respect again for the strength. If you don't know, this is my channel, and I'm going to be doing this more frequently. Definitely still go up on JD, show them and war with him because the war can
No,
never
no,
end.
you can't stay over here. I can't send more
No,
people
it's
over
all
here.
right. Me still come. Me still forward.
Suppose I want to send more people over here if you know come back over here. Make me send them, make me work. All right, make me work so we can live in peace over my channel. You know, I will send them. I will make everybody come. I'm gonna stay on WeMax it alone. Am I right?
Yeah, man, people. So we're not gonna hold up JD because me
The
know
war, our prophet. No, I am. Know yourself? Yeah. I have 2 hours left, but because I don't want to people say me a fight against Jason. I make sure to take my sleep, half an hour to my sleep, you know? Yes.
but
Come
tired
over
to
here.
tell the man say the war have a place on the screen.
No, that's a lie. All right, yes, it's
So
a
yeah,
lie.
people, big up on yourself. You don't know.
Yeah, man. Subscribe, people. Subscribe and
So I'm
support
gonna leave
Jason.
it right there. Yeah, man, subscribe. Make we get the subscriber them up so that Mr. United can give me the whole of the money when you want to give me tonight. And yeah, you don't know, respecting up people. Make everybody know so Jason Gooner start a channel, and today was the first live. So everybody who is here, just want to give you a big thank you. LJ, big up yourself. Juras, Cyan Bowen from Jamaica, Martin, know yourself. Respect Daddy for forwarding on. Damian, respect. Nicholas, respect. Who may I leave out? Travis Peso, big up every time, bro. Respect for the strength. Lee Young. Lee Young Cavaliers did end up get 4 love, so them got 6 love over the 2 legs. Arms up, big up. Know yourself, big up. Phil B, big up. Yeah, man. Everybody, respect again. Like, share, and subscribe. And you don't know, one Jamaica people, one Jamaica. Big up on yourself here. Jason Gooner out. Bless.